Hello and welcome to the intro to your Sophiuchu Dragon Mother reading. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. It's probably Sophiucha because this reading centers around the archetypal energy of Ophiuchus, which is often referred to as the 13th zodiac sign, which is rooted in the portion of the sky between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And Ophiuchus represents alchemy and spiritual awakening and shadow integration. He is known as the serpent bearer, and his energy is known to indicate in our birth charts deep transformation and a focus on mastering life force energy, symbolized by the serpent, and balancing shadow and light. Ophiuchus is more about embodying the healer and the medicine itself, and emphasizes personal empowerment and mystical mastery. Its energy is a blend of Scorpio's intensity and death and rebirth kind of themes with Sagittarius's expansive vision and truth-seeking kind of energies, which creates this really unique archetype of cosmic healing and integration and transcendence. And in his story, he's associated with serpents and dragons, symbolizing primal wisdom and kundalini energy and transformative power. And he represents the shaman or the alchemist or the medicine man or woman, actively participating in the healing journey through mastery and integration. Ophiuchus is known to be outwardly dynamic. I want to talk a little bit about the difference between where this aspect is in your chart and where Chiron is in your chart. So Ophiuchus focuses on bringing healing and wisdom to the world, and is where we look in the chart for where we're invited to step into our own power as healers and align with universal cycles of transformation. And so in Chiron in mythology, he's known as the centaur and teacher. He's known for his incurable wound and represents the pain that we all carry with us and we must transcend in order to access our highest wisdom. And he represents healing through surrender and service and helping others overcome similar challenges. So Chiron is more reflective and personal, focusing how wounds shape the journey when we're looking at Chiron in the chart and guide a person's service to others. And it's a healing that's more often inward and arises from the need for vulnerability and acceptance, while Ophiuchus focuses on mastering and embodying the role of the healer. And again, Chiron has that emphasis on the path to healing through the wound, right? And so the differences. So Ophiuchus has the role of the healer, the alchemist, the shaman. Chiron has the role of the wounded healer and the teacher. And then Ophiuchus's healing approach is mastery of energy and transformation and active integration. And then Chiron is healing through vulnerability and service and surrender, a more like softer, less kind of cosmic feel to the energy. Ophiuchus, we look at his scope is outward empowerment and embracing cosmic cycles and embodying our cosmic beingness, whereas Chiron is more about inner reflection and personal growth and compassion and vulnerability, right? And the symbolism of Ophiuchus is focused on serpents and dragons and mystical power, and Chiron is focused on wounds and compassion and being a bridge between realms. And Ophiuchus's energy is bold, transformative, and visionary, where Chiron's energy is more gentle and reflective and very deeply personal, right? And so now let's talk about the feminine principle and the medicine woman and dragons. So traditional depictions of Ophiuchus will focus on the masculine aspects of healing and mastery, like we can look at Asclepius or shamanic archetypes. But when we look at it through the lens of Sophiuchu, we are looking at the feminine maternal energy and embodying the role of medicine woman and nurturer and cosmic intermediary almost. That's how I think of her, as like an intermediary. So dragons are often viewed as cosmic serpents, right? Representing primordial wisdom and protection, right? That's the serpent's energy that's linked to Ophiuchus. So across cultures, the serpent and dragon motifs often intertwine and share roots in humanity's like collective mythologies and all of that. So like in Mesoamerican mythology, we can see the serpent dragon deity Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, representing a blend of earth, the serpent, and sky with feathers or wings, right? Bird or dragon, right? So uniting earthly wisdom and cosmic vision, right? And alchemy is another thing that both the serpents and the dragons, right, have in common. They both appear in alchemical texts as symbols of transformation, with dragons representing the purification and integration of opposites, right? Even in early Christian interpretations, the serpent that tempts Eve with the fruit of knowledge is sometimes depicted as a dragon-like figure, which mirrors the protective energies of dragons guarding sacred treasures or truths, right? And so once again, we see this reflection of the dragon's role as this cosmic adversary and tied to shadow and transformation and all of that, right? So Ophiuchus is known in the stories to gain mastery over the serpent, right? And in modern day translations, this becomes associated with mastery over our Kundalini, or rising feminine energies that allow us to have true mastery in our 3D reality. So in Kundalini traditions, the energy is often depicted as a coiled serpent at the base of the spine, symbolizing dormant power and life force energy. And when awakened, Kundalini rises through the body's energy centers and initiates a process of purification and illumination and transformation. And the medicine woman embodies the same serpentine kind of energy. She's the master of primal creative forces, like the serpent's energy, using them to heal and transform herself and others. And just like Kundalini moves through the energies channels, energy centers, the chakras, the medicine woman navigates the energetic and spiritual pathways of healing, balancing the physical and emotional and spiritual realms, right? And a Kundalini awakening often involves facing shadows and unresolved emotional patterns, right? Clearing blockages so that the energy can flow freely through the chakras, right? Similarly, the medicine woman embraces shadow work as part of her healing journey, diving into the depths of pain and trauma and unconscious patterns in order to transmute them into wisdom and power. And also, medicine woman archetype guides others through their shadow work, acting as a midwife for their transformation, right? Birthing a new version of the self into the world. And so both Kundalini and medicine woman archetypes demand courage and patience and a willingness to face the unknown, which makes them both profound symbols of inner alchemy, right? And so Kundalini is often considered the rising feminine energy, also known as Shakti, which represents our creativity and our intuition and our divine connection, right? And that's what I said before, is Ophiuchus, even though he's mastering the serpent, he's mastering the story the way that I see it, is mastering his connection to his feminine creativity, to his feminine intuition, to his feminine divine connection, right? And the medicine woman channels this same divine feminine force. She embodies nurturing and intuitive wisdom, using her connection to the natural world and the cosmic energies in the natural world in order to heal and transform. And a Kundalini awakening, like the medicine woman's journey, involves this reclamation of feminine power and this integration of masculine and feminine polarities in order to reach a state of wholeness. Kundalini awakening and the medicine woman archetype both follow a spiral path of healing. In Kundalini, the energy ascends and descends, cycling through the layers of consciousness, purifying and awakening different aspects of the self. And the medicine woman mirrors this spiral process in her own cyclical relationship with nature, honoring the rhythms of life and death and rebirth in the healing practices that she brings to others. And so this spiral journey is a reflection of the wisdom of transformation, where each cycle depends on self-awareness and brings in greater alignment to the universal truths, right? So both Kundalini awakening and the medicine woman archetype are about embodying wholeness. Kundalini integrates the earthly root energy with the cosmic crown energy, connecting the physical and spiritual dimensions. And the medicine woman embodies the balance, the ability to balance body and mind and spirit, which serve as a bridge between material and mystical worlds, realms, or dimensions, right? And so through this embodiment, both become healers to themselves and others, and able to channel wisdom into the world, the Kundalini awakened and the medicine woman herself, right? And so there's this sacred responsibility that they both carry, right? The Kundalini awakening brings that, and so does the medicine woman, this use of the awakened energy for the greater good, right? The medicine woman is the caretaker of ancient wisdom. She's tasked with using her gifts to heal, guide, and empower others. And just as a Kundalini awakening often leads to a desire to help others awaken, the medicine woman's journey is rooted in service to her community and to the earth, right? And so the Kundalini awakening and the medicine woman archetype both symbolize this journey of discovery and empowerment and transformation. And as the serpent or dragon energy rises, we're awakening to higher states of consciousness. And that mirrors medicine woman's process of reclaiming her intuitive and healing gifts and stepping into her sacred role, right? And so it's all about, this reading is all about this call and answering the call to align with our inner wisdom and embody our potential as healers and creators and wisdom keepers. And so this reading for you is going to illuminate how the archetypal energy of Ophiuchists manifests uniquely in your chart, revealing where you are called to embrace shadow and light and alchemize your personal power and embody the gifts of the Dragon Mother. Sophiuchu's energy mirrors the rise of Kundalini, the awakening of the medicine woman within you, the healer, the alchemist, and the wisdom keeper who channels both primal and cosmic energies, right? And so it's really, the reading's about exploring this potent blend of transformative power and divine feminine intuition that Sophiuchu activates in you. And we're going to work with the DNA light code activation on igniting that ability in you to heal and empower and to awaken not just yourself, but the world around you as well.